Okay, hello everyone, this is Mr. Ronan here again, and right now we're going to talk about Mai's frame data just for a moment. And of course, talking about frame data for every move in a Street Fighter game would take absolutely forever, so I thought we'd focus on the main important things and why certain things matter with Mai. Just, you know, some things to keep of note so you can have a little bit of idea of some of the numbers. So, to start off with her lights, both of her light punches are pretty good. They're either +4 or +5. This means that both of them, if you're close enough, you just do a single one, can actually link into her standing light kick. Not as a cancel, but they'll link into it, which is really good because the light kick has this whole situation that is, you know, great damage for a poke and leads into a safe jump. It's just really, really cool. So that's good to know. And it's also good to know just in general that she has this string, crouching light punch, crouching light kick, standing light punch. Because the standing light punch is actually so plus that it can link into some like medium specials, like medium Ryu Enbu, and even enhanced like ninja bees or whatever this is called. So she can do this string and get really good confirms off of it. So really decent pokes of Mai. Now, for the rest of her buttons, it's all kind of the same. Basically everything she does is just like slightly advantage on hit. Like just, you know, +5, +3, +1s, really nothing that interesting. The only ones that kind of matter are the fact that, you know, crouching medium punch and crouching heavy punch are both plus enough and leave you close enough to sometimes link into standing light punch or crouching light punch. Which means that, once again, you can get conversions like this, which is cool. Then, on block, the same thing kind of applies. All of them are just like about +1. So every time you drive rush in, you'll be like +1, 0, +1. The only thing that is really special here is back heavy kick. That's going to be +3. So this kind of ends up being your default drive rush button, because whether it's on block or on hit, it leads to pretty decent results. On hit, it is +7, which means you can link into the crouching medium punch, which is really good because this also means this button also makes crouchers start to stand, which is good because her combos really drop if the opponent is crouching. So if you ever go for a drive rush, this is good on hit and block, and it's good for crouchers because getting combos from it forces them to stand and you get B&B combos. And voila, pretty nice, decent damage. So yeah, this is kind of your default. Good on hit, also good on block at +3, and it leaves you really, really close, so you can go for your lights, or you can go for a throw. This is a really, really great button. As for drive rushing from further away, of course that's where you're going to start using your slightly longer reaching buttons, like your standing heavy kick is going to reach so far, so it doesn't really matter what its frames are, because it's plus enough. Basically everything drive rush is going to link into crouching medium punch and lead into the same full combo. This is just better because it's good on block or hit, and if the opponent happens to be crouching. So, also, special notice to the overhead, basically all the same things apply to it. It's slightly plus on hit, only slightly minus on block, and is just plus enough on hit in order to connect into the exact same stuff we've been doing the whole time. Voila. So that's basically it for special. Regulars, pretty normal. Also, something of note is that her forward throw is +21 frames, where her back throw is only +17. So a lot of the time you want to be going for a forward throw because that means you have a better chance of getting some kind of fan toss to actually hit the opponent. Now, for special moves, her fan tosses are very minus if you're close to the opponent. Unless you're able to space them out really well, they're basically always bad. So if they hit really close to the opponent, they're going to range from -1 on the light to -5 on the heavy. So really bad that you can be punished on hit. You really want to make sure you're doing these spaced with your heavy punch or medium punch. And if you do that correctly, then they can be potentially advantageous on hit, and sometimes you space it really well, potentially even advantageous on block. They can be up to +3. So vary a lot, make sure you space them out. Another close to safe special she has is Light Ryunbu, but this also has the same problem where you really need to have max spacing on your buttons in order for it to not be a punish, because even here, against some characters that would have been a punish. So you really be careful with her slightly safe special moves. A very notable special move is her enhanced fan toss, because it comes out very fast in 12 frames, which means it's a frame trap after a lot of her lights. If I get the opponent to go for a little poke here quickly. As you can see, if the opponent blocks, this is going to counter a lot of counter pokes, especially if they do a medium or something. What's good about this is if it counters them, you get to go for a full combo really easily just by confirming into a little light button afterwards. So this is a really good thing to catch the opponent mashing, and you get to get a little bit of damage, easy confirms from it. And if they do get scared of mashing then, well, it's just very advantageous. And also, just as a final note, if they do mash on something slightly slower when you're going for something, like if I go for it and there's no gap and they try to go for something like that, I'm gonna get a full combo from it. There's no gap after any of your mediums, so they have to decide what they do, and if they press a slow button, they're gonna get full comboed. And even if they go for a light here, when there's no gap and they decide to go for a safe light, as you can see, they will still be fine, but I am still really plus after the falling fan, and I can go for some 50-50s with my overhead or a low. So that's pretty notable frame data there, but if they do block it on the first hit, it is -3, so you don't just get to mash buttons, and if you do that, you might mess it up. Then, as for knockdown frame data, her Musasabi no Mai dive kick is the perfect timing for a safe jump, because it leaves you at +41, which means the opponent's DP will not be able to hit you, and you can go for a guaranteed jump in and block the DP. Very cool, very powerful, especially that it also leads to a cross up. All of the knockdowns from my regular combos like this are about +30, but they do kind of cross the opponent up. So if they do go for a DP, regardless of the actual frame advantage, if you go for this, you tend to cross behind them, and most DPs whiff. So that can be a kind of fake safe jump. Another notable frame data knockdown is after this string, you are able to cancel into your fan tosses. So you can cancel into your light fan toss for a very meaty fan toss, or you can charge your medium fan toss for a meaty double hitting fan toss. Both are very powerful in their own ways, and you can drive rush behind both of these. It'll go through most characters' DPs. It is, of course, beats drive impact. It's just a very strong option to go for if you ever end your combos or just hit confirmness on its own. It also does great damage. And as for going for fans on regular knockdowns, you can also do it after regular combos. They'll just be a little bit less advantageous, and this still beats DPs, drive impacts, and whatnot. And you can go for a charged heavy fan here, and that will still beat a drive impact as long as you're frame perfect. So very good there. The only thing the opponent can do to beat that is if they have a really long-reaching DP or a really long-reaching level 2 or 3 super. So both are really good ways of setting up your fans to go for a super easy Oki. And as for frame data, that's about all you need to know for Mai. You know how to go for some decent pressure, you know what her best drive rush button and advantage is from different situations. You know when your fan tosses, they're of course very minus close up, but they can be made plus. Safe jumps from various things, fake safe jumps from other things. Good fan setups from various knockdowns, and cheeky fan knockdowns from other types of knockdowns where you can get really cool pressure. But yeah, that's my funky frame data, but once you understand it, I think she'll be pretty powerful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!